divine emergency alert from God connections. Do not disregard this message. If you are questioning a relationship that seems fundamentally wrong, if your soul has been screaming at you while your heart has been confused, this is heavenly confirmation. The universe has intercepted this communication for you because the person you've been pouring your heart into has been keeping a secret so poisonous that it's ready to destroy their whole existence. What you're about to hear will be surprising, frightening, and ultimately freeing. It will demonstrate that every gut sensation you experienced was God's direct involvement, a spiritual air raid siren alerting you to flee before their crumbling world drowned you under its wreckage. Stay with me because the truth I'm about to reveal is so explosive and mind-blowing that it will set you free forever. The angel they could not keep. Chosen one, you entered this person's life like an angel descending from heaven, a pure and bright light penetrating their self-created darkness. You demonstrated what true, unconditional love looks like. You exemplified true, unflinching loyalty, the type of soul-deep, telepathic connection for which they had quietly prayed their whole, miserable lives. You were the physical light in their world of endless darkness, the delicious honey in their bitter and poisoned life, and the unbreakable truth in their twisted web of falsehoods. From the minute they lay eyes on you, they knew you were unlike anybody else they'd ever encountered. They detected a holy signature on your soul. Where others performed, you were genuine. Whereas others twisted and played games, you were brutally honest. You were the genuine thing, a rare jewel wandering amid a bunch of cheap counterfeits, and they recognized it from the beginning. You embodied all their soul desired deep inside, underneath the layers of pain and dysfunction. You represented calm instead of perpetual upheaval, unwavering allegiance instead of a history of betrayal, and true, pure love instead of the twisted, manipulative games they had become used to. The true, tragic tragedy is that they were too used to drowning in their own dysfunction to grasp the life preserver you were handing them. They saw hope in your eyes and felt comfortable in your presence, but the usual currents of their agony were too powerful. Instead of accepting the blessing that was directly in front of them, a supernatural gift that literally offered them a route out of their own hell, they made the willful decision to remain stuck in a nightmare of their own creation. The reason they've been withdrawing, becoming aloof, and behaving weirdly has nothing to do with you. This is not because they don't want you. The tragic, soul-crushing fact is that they want you so much that it is eating them from the inside out. But deep down, at their heart, they are persuaded that they do not deserve you. They would never be worthy of the brightness you bring. They've been concealing something so disastrous, grotesquely gothic, and soul-shattering that they couldn't stomach exposing your pure spirit to the poisonous truth of their lives. They knew that if you ever found what was really going on behind the scenes, behind the carefully cultivated facade they gave to you, you would flee so quickly in the other way that you would leave nothing but wholly scorched scars on the ground. They knew, with terrifying certainty, that you would never look at them the same way again, and their last opportunity at genuine happiness with you would be lost forever. So, while you've been laying awake at night, tormenting yourself, doubting your own worth, wondering why you weren't enough, and beating yourself up for not being picked, the world has been working hard to show you something genuinely magnificent. You are what many have spent their whole lives seeking for. You were, and will always be, the one that got away. You are the one they will regret losing for the rest of their earthly life. You are the sacrosanct standard, the golden yardstick against which they will judge all future connections, and no one else will ever measure up. It'll be impossible. You've become the dream they can't shake, the peaceful symphony they can't hear, and the haunting, painful what-if that will haunt them like a ghost for the rest of their lives. You are not the kind of person who accepts being a filthy little secret when you know you deserve to be someone's most proud and loud statement. Nor will you tolerate being simply another choice on a chaotic menu when you know deep down in your soul that you are intended to be the ultimate priority. This unshakable sense of self-worth is scary for those who are used to manipulating others into accepting crumbs, much less than they deserve. The contrast between you and the total turmoil that is now unfolding in their lives is so strong and dramatic that it nearly seems surreal. While you advocate for peace, stability, loyalty, and true love, they have chosen to stay with someone who represents sheer devastation, never-ending drama, pathological treachery, and perpetual emotional conflict. This was never a matter of poor timing or a hint that you were not good enough. This was supernatural intervention at its most powerful, actively and furiously saving you from a circumstance that would have destroyed your serenity, devastated your happiness, and maybe threatened your life. You were being rescued from a multi-car pileup caused by a calamity you were completely unaware of. The crime thriller they call marriage. The individual to whom you have been linked is coping with more than simply usual relationship troubles or a tough patch. They are stuck in a marriage that reads like a dark, twisted criminal novel. They are not apart, not on a break, and not in some ambiguous gray region. They are officially married, but their spouse lives a dishonest, wicked double life that makes daytime soap operas appear like children's cartoons. And here's the earth-shattering truth. Their spouse is presently pregnant, but the kid isn't their partner's. Allow it to settle into your soul. While you thought you were up against a loving, devoted couple, the truth was a poisonous, empty fake. The spouse's adultery was so widespread, irresponsible, and arrogant that it ended in someone else becoming pregnant. To make matters worse, they become infected with a sexually transmitted illness. They have been concealing both the hidden pregnancy and the severe virus from their spouse, putting their health and well-being at serious risk every day. The degree of contempt, treachery, and plain wickedness is breathtaking and almost inexplicable to a soul like yours. The person you care about has been avoiding intimacy with their spouse for a long time, since their own soul warned them that something was seriously and dangerously wrong. They've been acting more like antagonistic roommates than lovers, fully knowing on some level that they couldn't trust their partner, but too weak or terrified to confront the fact. This is the turmoil they chose over something genuine, lovely, and important to you. This is the horror they chose over the pleasure, laughter, and deep calm you provided so freely. As you read this letter, this individual is experiencing severe psychological breakdown. Their hazy concerns grew difficult to dismiss, prompting them to employ a private investigator. The facts found provided no opportunity for denial, gaslighting, or excuses. Hotel invoices align nicely with suspicious, late-night at-work allegations. A collection of graphic text messages and images from the affair partner. Hidden pregnancy tests and ultrasound images tell a narrative of betrayal so terrible that no one deserves to go through it. The inquiry showed a network of lies so intricate, calculating, and cold-blooded that it is plainly evident that this was not a one-time lapse or a moment of weakness. It was a continuous, organized, and malicious betrayal. The spouse has been leading a second life right beneath their partner's nose. And now, after looking at the positive pregnancy test and completing the easy arithmetic, your individual knows for certain that the baby is not theirs. They haven't been intimate for months. They've been shielding themselves spiritually and physically because, deep down, they knew a day of reckoning would come and the awful truth will be revealed sooner or later. Please, chosen one, listen to me. You did not come upon this message from God Connection by coincidence. You were summoned here. You're here because something old and knowledgeable in your spirit identified this heavenly frequency, which only the rarest and most selected beings may experience. Quick pause, family. If this message resonates deeply inside your soul, and you feel compelled to support this important work, you may help maintain this place filled with truth, light, and divine clarity. The link to our Buy Me a Coffee page is included in the description below. And if the Spirit moves you, consider supporting our ministry with a $10 payment using the Super Thanks button located just below the video. Every seed sowed yields a harvest. Let's keep going. The instant they saw the indisputable proof from the private investigator, everything fell into place with terrifying precision. All of the suspicious behaviors, thin justifications, incessant phone guarding, and instances when their spouse became very defensive or evaded even the most basic queries made sense. It became evident that they were not being paranoid or insecure. Their intuition had been shouting the truth to them all along. This is the exact time when they realize how much they gave up, how much they sacrificed, by choosing to remain in such a poisonous and soul-destroying scenario rather than embrace something true, pure, and lovely with you. Now they can see the stark difference between someone who would betray them in the most horrific manner possible and someone like you, who would have provided them with unflinching devotion and staunch commitment indefinitely. The true reason they distanced themselves, ghosted you, and abruptly became inaccessible had nothing to do with you not being enough. They just couldn't bear the deep humiliation of revealing to you that they were imprisoned in a marriage with someone who was deliberately killing their life, health, and sanity. They know your personality. They knew you had high standards. They recognized that you would never tolerate being someone's second option, particularly from someone who treated them with such open contempt and unspeakable brutality. You deserved honesty, sincerity, and someone who was absolutely willing to love you, right? However, they were too ashamed to share their true lives behind closed doors. It was much simpler to make you think they were strong, in charge, and confident than to admit the painful truth that they were trapped in a soul-poisoning position, too weak and codependent to leave a marriage that was slowly ruining them. That ghosting, which seemed like the cruelest, most excruciating rejection to you, was really the nicest and most deep protection you could have ever gotten. Divine protection and karmic storms. Divine energies, legions of angels, were working around the clock to keep you safe from a circumstance that might have seriously harmed you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The partner they're dealing with is severely unstable, pathologically deceitful, unpredictable, and even violent. This implies you might have received direct threats, persistent harassment, or worse, just by being affiliated with them. You may have been the one getting furious, erratic late-night phone calls. You could have witnessed your property damaged. You may have been pulled into ugly legal drama and nightmare custody fights that you never agreed to. Every canceled plan, every week, "I'm busy" excuse, every moment they seemed preoccupied or distant, that was supernatural intervention doing all in its power to protect you, to save you from being collateral damage in the explosion of someone else's catastrophe. And what is now occurring to this individual is the result of karma acting quickly and decisively. It's precise, strong, and completely inevitable. Their spouse, whom they naively believed was worth saving above a heavenly connection with you, is now either gone or hiding, while the disastrous repercussions of their actions spiral out of control. Consider a pregnant woman escaping the scene while harboring a sexually transmitted illness, just as her whole world of falsehoods is revealed. Now, your person is entirely alone, carrying the burden of legal paperwork, divorce processes, and probable custody fights for a kid who is not even theirs, all while their greatest private agony becomes a public scandal. Their marriage is now the topic of much rumor and conjecture. People are debating every filthy detail over coffee, assessing their decisions over dinner, and using their terrible story as a warning about disregarding red signs. Their most private and terrible betrayal has become the community's most recent and graphic amusement. Even people who formerly admired them are now murmuring behind their backs, wondering how they could have been so blind, how they could have overlooked the clear indicators. The words, "How did you not see this coming?" haunts them wherever they go. Years of carefully cultivated reputation are eroding in a matter of days. Professional connections are becoming unpleasant and tense. Family gatherings are becoming stressful and judgmental as individuals take sides. Their whole social world is shattering into ashes as a result of one person's disastrous decisions and their own failure to prevent them. Meanwhile, the affair partner, who may have been a close friend or even a trusted family member, is coping with their own catastrophic consequences. This is much more than simply adultery. It is a multifaceted treachery that is ruining families, permanently terminating friendships, and forming lifetime adversaries. The shockwaves are affecting everyone engaged. And While their reality is collapsing, yours is going to grow in the most magnificent and wonderful ways possible. Your red carpet and the new beginning. You have been granted heavenly permission to explore new options, to finally discover what else the world has in store for someone of your unique and valuable worth. The universe has effectively stretched out the red carpet, welcoming you with wide arms to finally claim the deep love and unwavering happiness you have always deserved. You already have a number of high-quality, high-vibration individuals interested in you, who have been silently waiting for the appropriate opportunity to show you what true, healthy, mature love is all about. These people do not want games, drama, or intricate entanglements. They are mature, steady, and emotionally sophisticated, searching for something long-lasting, beautiful, and authentic. They've been observing from a respectful distance as you manage this complex and unpleasant circumstance with remarkable grace, decency, and intelligence. They are very pleased with your patience, ethics, and consistent standards. They know quality when they see it, and they are perfectly prepared to treat you as if you were the prize. Among these prospective new connections, you'll discover someone who owns their own home, has their finances in order, and is emotionally and spiritually prepared for a meaningful, committed relationship. Someone who is free of infant turmoil, sickness scares, divorce mayhem, and all other forms of turbulence. They are psychologically healthy, emotionally accessible, and financially secure, which the other person was not and could never be for you. The difference will be so stark, so diametrically opposed, that you will wonder why you ever contemplated becoming engaged in such dysfunction in the first place. You are drawn to those who have their lives together exactly because you have your own. You are attracted to excellence because you embody it. Your social circle is going to grow with wonderful people who share your basic beliefs, vision for the future, and strong desire to create something significant and long-lasting. No more compromising for someone who lacks your enthusiasm, loyalty, or emotional maturity. All of this was arranged by heavenly energies to gently and forcefully remove you from a circumstance that would have shattered your tranquility, harmed your health, and potentially jeopardized your physical safety. You were the test. They failed their last test brilliantly. You offered the obvious road to true happiness, but they preferred the poisoned comfort of their usual dysfunction. You were intended to be their heavenly wake-up call, the tremendous motivation they needed to finally end their poisonous marriage and choose happiness over habit, love over convenience, and peace over turmoil. Instead, they opted to stay locked in a scenario that was gradually destroying their spirit, and it has ultimately exploded. When it comes to defending its chosen ones, the universe doesn't mess around. Every time you felt rejected was a moment when you were miraculously protected from profound damage. Every time they backed away, heavenly powers literally intervened to save you from being trapped in someone else's living nightmare. The timing of this insight is ideal. You're finding this reality at just the right time to figure out why everything transpired the way it did. You are getting evidence that your instincts were correct, your standards were more than reasonable, and your decision to defend your peace was the best one you could have ever made. You're starting to realize something that will permanently change your perspective. You're nothing like the person they married. You do not cheat. You do not lie. You do not tamper with people's hearts or health. You are loyal, sincere, trustworthy, and very valued. Everything their husband is not and never will be. This tremendous insight frees you from any remaining sentiments of inadequacy or self-doubt. Their spouse's conduct reflects them and their bad judgment, not your worthiness for love. The fact that they opted to remain in a marriage with someone who treats them so badly reveals all you need to know about their own standards and woeful lack of self-esteem. Your standards aren't too high. Theirs are tragically low. Your reluctance to accept being someone's second choice was not tough. It was a reflection of your tremendous value and the protection of your precious heart. Every barrier you established, every time you refused to sacrifice your ideals, you were protecting yourself from this horror. You now realize that you don't have time to wait for someone to find out how to get out of their self-imposed jail. Life doesn't stop for someone else's turmoil. While they are consumed with divorce papers, tumultuous custody fights, and humiliating court appearances. You might be creating something genuinely lovely with someone who is actually accessible, deserving, and prepared for you. Your bright future and thriving success. The contrast between you and their spouse is like comparing a pristine, bright diamond to a mass of shattered glass. You embody everything positive: love, loyalty, honesty, dedication, and respect. Their partner exemplifies everything destructive: dishonesty, betrayal, greed, and brutality. You are now recognizing that heavenly powers saved you not just from their visible disorder, but also from the psychological pain of seeing their spouse's actual character firsthand. You may have been the one receiving threatening phone calls, discovering proof of adultery, or worried about your health. Instead, someone amazing is going to enter your life, someone who desires something authentic, devoted, and beautiful with you. The individuals who are entering your life now are ready for you. On top of that, tremendous financial blessings are starting to fall in your favor. All of your valuable emotional energy spent worrying about other people's problems is going to be diverted toward possibilities that will significantly improve your own life. Consider fresh sources of income, surprise professional improvements, and unexpected monetary rewards as a direct result of your patience, intelligence, and strong decisions. You are going to experience a transition that will make you even more dazzling, captivating, and appealing than before. People will see you sparkling with true pleasure, succeeding in every element of your life, and exuding an infectious delight. The person who lost you will have to watch your magnificent growth from a terrible and regretful distance. Your living circumstances might improve substantially. Your career might take a significant leap forward. Your health and vigor will rise now that the stress and confusion of the past have been eliminated. Every aspect of your life will profit from the knowledge of selecting yourself. Your vengeance will be neither small nor brutal. It will be a complete, unequivocal, and overwhelming success. You will live so well, love so freely, and prosper so gloriously that your happiness will be difficult to ignore or reduce. Your excitement will speak volumes. It will be the clearest, most impactful message you can make. People will be taken aback by your metamorphosis as you become even more gorgeous, confident, and strong. You'll be living, breathing evidence of what occurs when you choose your own health above someone else's dysfunction. The person who let you go will only hear positive things about your life: job advancements, fascinating new connections, extraordinary possibilities, and significant personal accomplishments. Your name will become synonymous with achievement and delight, but theirs will be permanently associated with controversy, bad judgment, and public shame. Everyone who watched how they treated you will see your incredible return, and they will know without a doubt who the true winner was in that narrative. People will compare their continued horror to your flourishing existence and form their own unmistakable conclusions about who made the better decisions. You will be a bright example of what occurs when someone understands their value and refuses to settle for less. They will learn, much too late, that everything they ever desired was there in front of them, and they gave it all up for a walking catastrophe that wrecked their own life. As they realize how much they've lost, the emotional effect hits them like a freight train. The weight of their dumb choice keeps them awake at night, revisiting every moment with you in their heads, making them physically ill with remorse. Any thoughts they may have about attempting to win you back will seem futile and humiliating, since they know deep down that they cannot provide you with the clean slate and drama-free relationship you really deserve. You're much too educated and self-respecting to ever settle for someone who only recognizes your value after they've lost you. The toughest thing for them is knowing, with absolute confidence, that you will go on and prosper without them. They will carry that remorse for the rest of their lives. Your actions have made your viewpoint very obvious. You will not take crumbs when you deserve the whole feast. Your dedication, devotion, and tremendous energy are no longer accessible to them. You've diverted all of that beauty to someone who would appreciate it. What makes your new posture so strong is that it is based on clear self-awareness rather than rage. You've moved on because you realize you've always been deserving of that decision. Every benefit that is now entering your life is a direct result of the bravery you've shown. The universe is compensating for your patience and strength in walking away with prosperity, pleasure, and true friendships. They will have no option but to watch from the sidelines as you get everything they should have given you, as you are loved, respected, and cherished by someone who sees your worth from the start. Your success, joy, and obvious serenity in your life will reverberate through their minds for a lifetime, reminding them not only of what they lost, but also of how easily they might have retained it. This event has taught you that your value does not rely on someone else's decision. You are valued just because you exist. The proper individuals will never need persuading. Now that you have completed this course, you are live evidence of what is possible. The cosmos never punished you. Rather, it was preparing you. You were the test that they failed so badly. But by failing that test, they set you free. Their sad loss resulted in your joyful emancipation. What seemed to be uncertainty was really clarity emerging. What seemed like a delay was really preparation for a much larger destiny. Your future is boundless. Your finest days are yet ahead of you. They're opening up right now, and the best is yet to come. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the deepening of my faith. Help me to believe in you even when empirical proof is lacking. Let me trust in your eternal presence, knowing that you will never hurt me. I recognize that your thoughts for me are ones of prosperity rather than harm, and that they will provide me with a bright future. Thank you, kind and everlasting Father, for always hearing my voice. I give my prayer to you in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provisions. I am thankful for your presence in my life and the richness you provide. If this video from God Connection spoke to you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with people who need to hear it. Leave a comment below about your trip and how you're getting ready for your own victorious homecoming. Please consider making a contribution to support our work. To make a $10 gift, click the Super Thanks button below or use the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. No present is too tiny. Your gift, whether in the form of a penny, a prayer, or a share, helps to promote God's message and provide hope to others. Thank you for sticking with us. Keep shining brightly and face your fate with confidence. See you next time. God Connection sends blessings to all lovely people.